Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield ship review video. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Longsword, or in my case, the Longsword 4. So the number after the name of the vessel is the tier of the ship. So the higher the number, the better the tier. Aesthetically, the ship will stay the same. The only kind of difference with it is the fact that it has better base stats. So for instance, this tier 4 Longsword has an A-class reactor with 29 power. The tier 3 version's reactor might only be 27, the tier 2, 25, and the tier 1 could be 20. Aside from that, like I was saying, the ship will be aesthetically the same. But yeah, let's get into the review. This is a Deimos vessel, as you can tell by the look of it. Deimos make their vessels kind of like arrowheads or like blade heads, and they're also named after weapons. This longsword being a long sword. So this is one of the main fighter / combat vessels utilized by the United Colonies Navy. You see it quite a lot in UC space. It's a really cool looking ship. There's also some like unique versions, not unique, but they're like different colors depending on if they're like from the UC Navy or the UC System Defense. Yeah, it's pretty nice ship. So starting off, we have a fuel of 50, which is very low. Like, I know this is supposed to be like a vessel that doesn't really leave the system much, but I don't see how this kind of gets out of any system with its current fuel being the way it is. It's got a hull of 847, which is really, really good for an A-class combat vessel. Like, that's close to like B to C class, hull. It's only got 200 cargo capacity, which is quite low, but that's kind of, it is a combat vessel, and that cargo is coming mainly from the cockpit. It's got 29 reactor, A-class, really good. You can improve that slightly by adding the Spheromac reactor, getting up to like 33. Crew of 4, which isn't too bad. I feel like that's the cap for these A-class ships. It's got a jump range of 30 light years, which is insane. If it wasn't for the fact that it has such low fuel, I'd say like this ship is one of the best for like just flying around and doing stuff. But that 50 fuel, you'll be hard pressed to go anywhere. It's got 760 shield, which isn't too bad. I think the max A-class shields are on 900 or 1100. So we'll have to see when we do the upgrading. And it's got 3 sets of weapons. It's got particle weapons, ballistic weapons, and missiles. So the particle weapons are mounted there. You can see them on the top. It's got one above the cockpit and then one on the port and starboard winglet. And then it's got a single multi-cannon underneath. They're not called multi-cannons. That's Elite Dangerous talk, apologies. Single ballistic weapon. And then we've got the missile on the top. So the price of this vessel for me with perks is 174,287. Now your price will vary depending on the level of your perks and also the tier of the vessel. So if you, for instance, buy the tier 1 version, it'll be substantially cheaper. And whereas if you buy this version without perks, it'll probably be about 200k. So I found this in the Deimos Star Yard. This man here, Nick Howe Henderson. So this is it's literally by Deimos, the moon. There it is there in the Sol system. It's almost always on sale here. So if you come here and it's not here, just head to Mercury, land, wait 24 hours of Mercury, and then just come back, and it should be pretty quick to find. So we're going to go to our usual spot now to do a teardown and a walkthrough. Alright, so here we are in our usual spot. Nice little overview here. As you can see, it's got that very, like I was saying, the kind of the arrowhead or like the broadhead look to it. It makes use of the Deimos wing pieces there, which I really, really like. I kind of wish more factions had, like, winglet pieces. Like, I know Nova Galactic technically does have, but they're, like, very kind of large. And it's got those engines there. I'm kind of a bit annoyed that the engines are off-colored. I wish they were the same color as the base vessels could be. All in all, it's a really cool-looking ship. It definitely kind of screams, I'm a combat vessel, just how it looks. Yeah, so we're going to hop in. So enter through the back, which is interesting. We've got these really cool kind of landing gear from Deimos. Really like the look of them. Got the crappy fuel tank there. Very small. Then in we go. Obviously the Deimos cargo bay. It's very nice. No windows though, but it makes sense. It's supposed to be a combat vessel. Up we go. So I'm not expecting much interior-wise because it is like a combat vessel, but we shall see.
That's my girl.
So immediately we have a 1x1 storage room with a docking bridge above. I really like that. So you've got both entrance and exits up. And then we have a door to the left here that leads to a... Okay, so we have an all-in-one berth here. Deimos all-in-one berth. Pretty nice. We got the little kind of the bunk beds here. Very similar to Stroud Eklund bunk beds. We've got 4 of them. And then we've got a little toilet here. Just for doing your, you know, number 2, number 1. Got a table here with no chairs. And then up here, is this a 3x1? Might be a 3x1. And then we've got just more tables here, and we have a galley that works, but you have to look at that corner of the sink to make it work for some reason. Which is a bit weird, but you know, it is what it is. Now if we head over the other side, we have okay, we have a workshop. Very nice. I quite like having workshops on this. I don't know about having it on a combat vessel though, but you know, it's nice to have. We got our weapon workbench, we got our industrial workbench, research lab, and our spacesuit workbench, which is really, really nice. It's also very bright for some reason. A little table there, and then if we come here to the middle, we have the control station for the crew, which is really nice. Now, weirdly, Deimos decided we're only going to have 1 chair, so whoever's using these terminals just have to stand there. I wonder if... Because if you look at it, this, like, piece is added here. I wonder if this added, like, piece, like, has despawned the chairs. Kind of weird, anyway. We head to the bridge. Now, Deimos bridges are in a weird kind of, like, they're kind of weird to me. Because, like, I like the look of them, but they feel more like a kind of a, like, you know, like the bridge you see in, like, a dropship or, like, a single-seat fighter than an actual combat vessel. Like, these big warships, they only require 1 person to crew. Like, you've got seats here for your crew, but they're just jump seats. So they're basically, yeah, they're more like for, like, carrying troops. Anyway, we're going to take it off and see how she performs. It's a really cool vessel all the same, though. I was kind of let down when you complete the UC Vanguard quest line. Slight spoilers here if you haven't done it. But when you complete the UC Vanguard quest line, you don't get anything. Well, you do. You become a citizen. I'm like doing the air quotations, and you get a house. And I feel like in comparison to the Freestar Collective quest line, you get access to a cool ship. I kind of wish you got a ship for the UC questline as well. But it is what it is. As always, I have a perk that increases my power by 5, so for the sake of this review, we're not going to be utilizing all of that power. Weapon-wise, we have 3 particle cannons. Really powerful. We have single ballistic cannon underneath. And then we have a single missile, which is not bad. Movement speed, we have a base movement speed of 150, which isn't bad. Boost speed of... Well, this is fast, okay. Boost speed is 600, which is really good. And then we'll do a quick agility test. So pitch. Okay, pitch isn't too bad. Like a 6, maybe. Not extremely fast, but it gets the job done. Yaw is... Yaw's quite fast. Yaw's like a 7. And then roll. I wonder if its agility is kind of low because it only has those 2 engines. Anyway, we're going to head down to the plan now and do a teardown. Alright, so we've got the teardown done. We've got 3 sections. On the top here, we have single habitat module. We have the 110 DP Docker top from Deimos. And then for weaponry, we have one of these Sukisasu 19K missile launcher from Shinigami, A-class, 1500 range, 1 fire rate, 81.89 shield and health, hull damage, and then 4 power. And that's mounted on an equipment plate from Tayo. And then we have 2 of these PB-50 auto proton beams from Ballistic Solution Incorporated, A-class, 3600 range, 6.65 fire rate, 15 hull and shield damage, and 4 power yet again. Now we have the Marduk 1040A shield generator from Protectorate System, A-class, 7 power, 760 shield health. I believe we can improve upon that if we look at our shields. So so we slap on this bad boy here. Watch it probably not let me. We'll have to check in a minute. See, but you can swap this one in place of it, so we basically get an extra 50 power for an extra 2, or extra 50 shield for an extra 2 power now, or 1 power. Now, some people might not like that. It's not about the same price. Both require starter design 4, which is kind of high up there for A class. Anyway. Then for the reactor, we have this 164 toroidal reactor from Dogstar A class, 29 power. Now, obviously, as always, I'm going to recommend if you want the most power for your ship at A class, you got this Ferromac DC-202. Main difference is this gives us 33 power, so an extra 4 power. Now, price range, it's about 40k without perks, whereas this one is only 30k without perks, an extra 10k. And then the fuel tank is absolutely abysmal, so we're probably going to do the usual of swapping that fuel tank out for this one here. No, not that one there. Where is it? There we go. This is my favorite one. So this costs, or this is almost 2.5 times as heavy, but it gives 4 times the fuel, which is quite nice. And then for the aesthetic pieces on the top here, we have a Deimos Cowling 4, a Deimos Hull A, an equipment plate from Tayo, 2 Deimos Spine A4, 1 on each side, and then we have 4 of these Deimos radiators. Now, the next section of the vessel, we have the DS-10.1 Phobos cockpit from Deimos. Mounted on here, we have the PBO, another one of these autocannons, same as before. Underneath the cockpit, we have our third weapon, the KE-31A autocannon from Ballistic Solutions, A-class, 1500 range, 6.65 fire rate, 19 hull damage, and 4 power. These are all very kind of heavy, 4 power-wise. Anyway, behind that, we have the Deimos Control Station, 2x1. We have the Deimos Workshop, 2x1. Deimos Companion Weight, 1x1. And then we have the Deimos All-in-One Berth, 3x1. And then at the back here, we have the Helios 400 Grav Drive from Deep Core. A-class, 9 power, 27 grav jump thrust, which gives us 30 light years, which is really, really nice. Then for the engines, we have a pair of these Ares DT60 Panoptes engines. A-class, 2 max power, 14,000 engine thrust, and 2,600 maneuvering thrust. So I'm going to see, I think this is the best Ares engine, but we shall check. Yeah, Ares DT60, they are the best. Now, is there anything better? Obviously, if you want speed, you can go with these ones. Oh, okay. What's the main difference? Okay, we might have to incorporate these into the design. We'll see at the end when we do a teardown. Or we do not teardown, we do the kind of the fixer-upper. So for the aesthetic pieces, we have 2 of these Deimos Breakings here engines. We have 2 of these Deimos A-wing starboard and wing port. 2 Deimos hull, which is kind of interesting. I feel like you could put more. We'll probably put more like workstations here. And then we have 2 of these tail Deimos A's. And then on the bottom, we have the 120 LD landing bay from Deimos. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 320 CB landing gear from Deimos. 3 landing thrust each. And then we have a Deimos Skeg A and 2 Deimos Skeg Bs. So we're going to put the vessel back together. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the fuel and put a better fuel tank on. We're going to go with my favorite one. Like so, perfect. Now we're going to see about, we're going to swap the reactor out because it's nice to have a little bit more power. Like so, perfect. What's the error? What's unattached? What's unattached? Oh, the shield generator won't sit there? Okay, perfect, okay. So for the shield generator, we're going to see about putting the bigger one. Where are you? Now, will it sit here, or is it going to be like no? Yeah, it's going to be like no. Okay, so we're going to have to put it on the side, which isn't a huge problem. So where could we place it? We could stick it underneath somewhere, potentially. Okay. Let me just bring this back for a minute. The other one. Where's the other one? Let me put this here. You know, we're gonna stay with this one just because it would be too finicky trying to get this one in, and we're not using too much power. Now for the we'll try the engines next real quick. we have 80 mobility currently, so what if we were to put some of these engines? Where are you? See, this would be kind of the ideal setup. Like so. Okay, so we're gonna try some real quick, see if we can make this work. We can definitely slap these back here. Now we can't, sadly we can't put them back there, but we can add some other structural pieces just to kind of give the same aesthetic. So we're gonna go for some of these. Where's the one that goes down like, yeah, like that, perfect. Put 2 of these here. We'll worry about the color in a minute. So that basically brings our speed up to 180. We get more mobility, which is very nice. Now for the weaponry, we're going to make this like a Vanguard style. So we're going to make use of the Vanguard weaponry for this one. It's rare I use all of the Vanguard weapons, but you know, we might as well try something new. So first thing we do, Vanguard Obliterators. So I'm going to place 2 on each winglet here, like so. So 4 of them bad boys, which gives us some decent damage. So we're going to put the Vanguard Obliterators down at the bottom. And then we are going to go with... Where's the Vanguard auto cannons? These Vanguard Hellfire cannons. So we're going to put 2 of these like so. Now we could potentially move these back a bit. Now we'll keep them forward for now. And then... trying to think of like the best positioning for them. What do they look like if I put them underneath? See, it's one going to be. See, we don't want to use too much power. How's our reactor looking so far? So we've got 27 power, not too bad. And then we will add some of the cannons just for... This is a combat vessel. Let me go up and find it. Where's the... Put a single Tempest missile. Ooh. These are 6 power. Will we have enough for all these? Okay, we have just enough. Perfect. Now, what I would recommend... So I'm going to... Really quickly, I'm going to take the top section off this for the moment. Just because I want to, like, mess with the interior slightly. So we're just going to lift this whole thing up. Like so. Is that everything? Yeah, perfect. I'm going to move it over to the side. Now, so here we have this companionway. So I'm going to delete this companionway. And we're going to place a... Let me see. Okay. So we could definitely add a lot of modules here. But for the moment, I'm going to do a... So we don't have a captain's quarters, so I'm going to... Okay, I'm trying to think. So we have, what do we have here? We have a workshop. Perfect, and we have an all-in-one berth. Not too bad. We're going to put a... do we have a control station here? We're gonna put an infirmary on the vessel, like so. Which is, I feel like it's nice to have an infirmary. And then what we'll do actually is we're going to remove this all-in-one berth, and we're going to put a living quarters here, like so. And then we're just going to duplicate this side, like so. Now, we're going to try on the top. We're going to try and put a captain's quarters up on the top, just because it's nice to have. So we're going to remove this, and we're going to remove this, and we're going to replace it with that, like so. Now, we're going to put all these back real quick, just to see. Did I grab all of them? Yeah, okay. I'm going to slap these back here, like so. What did I miss? Oh, whoops. Now, what's our error? What's our error? Ship. What? What's higher? Oh, these are... Oh, I didn't know these were B class. My bad. Is there no... I thought there was some. Is there none? Interesting. Okay, I thought they were A class, but they're not. They're B class. Okay. So for the A class, we're going to go with... I'm going to go with some of these bad boys here. I quite like the look of these, just because they remind me of the PDCs from the Expanse, and then our error is we need a docking port, which we're going to fix that real quick by putting one on, like so. Lim Docker, now you're gonna cause me problems. No, you're not. Perfect. Okay, nice. Now, so we have the captain's quarters up there, which is very nice. Now we're gonna add a little bit more structurally to the vessel. Let me see. So we're gonna go with the structural pieces. I feel like putting some windows up here. We're gonna put some windows here. Just for the captain, even though if you listen to Legion from Mass Effect, Geth don't use windows because they're a structural weakness. But, you know, I feel like it's nice to have. Plus, the captain's quarters, like, it's no one's going to be in it in combat necessarily. So, you know, you could just kind of in your head kind of like, oh, we'll just seal it off. Now, so we're going to get some of these. Where are you? I'm going to get some of these side pieces. There we go. Perfect. So we're going to put... I just want to see about using these tail pieces. Yeah, I'm going to use these. These look quite nice. They kind of give a little bit more. They merge well. And then, do we have any more pieces we can add? Oh, we can put our tail back. Oh, very nice. Okay, we'll keep the tail. Now the question is, can I flip these around? Perfect. So I'm going to flip these around so I can get the tail on the bottom, like so. Just because it's nice to have the tail. And I feel like that's pretty much it. Now, we didn't do a whole lot aesthetically, but we did some decent jobs. So we've got 99 mobility. We still have the 29 jump range, which is really, really nice. Is there anything else we can add? Kind of doesn't look too bad. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. Because technically, I'm just going to add it because it... Let me see. So we're going to... If you want to do this, you just flip back, let go of it. Just going to put some, see what they look like. I think that looks quite good. It kind of breaks it up a little bit. Makes it, like, very uniform. And then... That's pretty much it. I kind of wish the snap points. I wish I could snap, like, pieces to the top of it. I don't think I can. Let me see real quick. Go through all of them. No, we can't. Just weapon hard points. But yeah, that's pretty much the design. Oh, wait. No, actually, you know what? We're going to add some of these to the bottom. Do we have any... Oh, see, can we flip any of these? Oh, wait, no. Did that flip? Oh, it didn't. Oh, I know what we're doing. There is skeg pieces that are upside down. Hold on now. There we go. And we're just going to add these to the back here. Ah, like so. Perfect. Just to kind of give us some... Alright, yeah, so that's the vessel. I think I did a decent job of kind of keeping it like demo style. Probably going to give it a paint job, which you'll see in the thumbnail, just to make it kind of more like a Vanguard one. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think, because I know for me, I'm a big UC fanboy. I'm like, frick the Freestar, UC all the way. But like I was saying, because you don't get a reward for doing the UC quest, I mean, you do get a cool reward, but it's, you know, you don't get a ship. I kind of didn't feel the need to, you know, like, I was like, oh, well, I'll just make my own ship. Because I don't like having to buy a vessel to be part of the UC. It just feels a bit cheap. But if I did, like, if I was rewarded one, like, I probably would have just rocked it and be like, yeah, because I actually used to kit my crew out in all UC uniforms. But anyway, let me know what you guys, how you guys did it. Like, do any of you guys, like, roleplay as UC or Freestar and just use, like, the ships that they use? And, yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content, and check out some of my other ship reviews. Bye-bye.